I know you're taking it in the teeth out there, but the first guy through the wall, he always gets bloody. Always. This is threatening, not just a way of doing business, but in their minds it's threatening the game. But really what it's threatening is their livelihood. It's threatening their jobs. It's threatening the way that they do things. And every time that happens, whether it's a government or a way of doing business or whatever it is, the people who are holding the reins, have their hands on the switch, they go batshit crazy. I mean, anybody who's not tearing their team down right now and rebuilding it using your model, they're dinosaurs. They'll be sitting on their ass on the sofa in October watching the Boston Red Sox win the World Series.
On my challenge, by the ancient laws of combat, we are met at this chosen ground to settle for good and all who holds sway over the 5 points.
Yo, welcome. Is anybody? Oh shit, there's people. There's actually people here. Crap. I guess I'm doing this. I guess, yeah, I'm bored. It either rains or pours in CG, huh? No, it's either flood or drought. That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to say. There's either nothing on or there's everyone streaming. I just want to make sure I got my mic set to my... I do. So you can actually hear me. Welcome. I'm just gonna color this page of Replicator 3 and see how we go. I don't know if anyone's gonna hang around or if Photoshop is gonna like it, but I will try and stay up with the chat as much as I can. I have no idea. I've done this once before. It didn't go well, but I think was that drawing? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna say hello to everyone anyway. Hello, Rob. Hey, Ray. How you going? Great to see Ray in here. It's perfect timing. NTM is here. Oh goodness. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. My goodness, it's like payback time. Adams is here. How you going, mate? There's Mel. She's in the kitchen packing. Is this going to be worth watching? Start of the working day here. Should probably do something useful. I'm going to say no. So then if it ends up being anything, at least, you won't be able to be disappointed then. I won't feel offended if you leave, Adams. That's all I'm going to say. This one, NTM, is it worth watching? Who knows? Mo Biggs is here. The gatekeeping has gotten more subtle. Why do you say that? Oh, look at that. Mo, I failed you. I wasn't able to get the wrenches done in time. I'm terrible. But they are still coming. I promise. On this pen. They are still coming. Oh, Brad's here. Can I get some tape on my Brad, you already got yours. You've already received yours. You were the second person, I think, to show it off. Dave Feed, how you going, buddy? Man, it's great to have you in here. It's been a long time. Who else do I see? Skip Edwards is here. He was bored as well. Bored no longer, maybe. Eris, oh my goodness, there's actually people. There's like 12 people. Hello, Brian, Stephen. Yeah, it is a little late. But this is, I'm gonna get tucked into some Replicator at the moment. So that's what we're gonna do. Suma, yeah, I'm just gonna color. So, well, when I get through saying hello to all of you. Linkovich, Jamovsky. Who else we got here? Oh shit, it's done that thing. Yeah, that's me, puzzle maker. I make all the puzzles. My puzzles bring all the milkshakes to the yeah, I know you do, Brad. I know you do. I bet you also like, if I can find it, a little bit of this.
I have 2 guns, One for each of you.
Brad and I can't hang out at the moment. He was going to be here and help us with the fulfillment, but we were going to, imbibe in some whiskey. Look what I got, Brad. Hang on, I don't know if Brad's seen this. I got this. It's a Macallan 12-year double cask single malt, and it is spectacular. But we're in lockdown, and there's a curfew, and it's bullshit, but we won't get into that. Hello, DJ Yachtman. Hello, Gelth. Letting you know I received my copy of a book and artwork, but next time make us sign for them. It could be stolen had I not. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I think that the signature is a whole rigmarole. Maybe I can. I'll have to check that. I hadn't thought about that. But glad you got your book. Hope it's safe and sound. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I don't know if it's like a big extra cost with the signature. Maybe it is. Who else we got here? KB in the house. Anyone who steals my copy of the Lucent will get exactly what they deserve, which is not a wrench, apparently. Hey, BoogieBot. I think Mel, wow, late night. Yeah, wow, in Texas. Yeah. I think Mel packed yours today as well. They're all going. She is seriously, I think she's up into the 700s now. Take a break from coloring Robocopter to color me shocked that you would be late with. I know. It's terrible. I just say things on streams. I get these ideas and then I have to actually do something. Jeremy, how you going, mate? All right. Sheev McQueen. Who else do I see in here? Who else? I think that's it. I think I've said hello to everyone. Oh, I should check my Twitter. The artwork is on the freezer. I will do that actually right now. My my kid was on the playing with the things on the fridge today, and he found my hand. He said, "Oh, look, Papa, it's your freaky hand." It was pretty funny. I'm not finding it. Did you tag me? I'll try to see if I can find Gelth. It's your. What is your Twitter? I'm not seeing it. Or maybe I missed it. Not sure. Maybe if you can, I don't know, tag me in it or something, I'll be able to bring it up. And that would be cool. I want to see it. I want to see the magnets on the fridge. All right. I'm not going to be able to keep highlighting chats as we go. Well, 17 people in here. I got Rosella Allen to post it to. Okay. Do I see anything from Rosetta? Where's Rosetta? Why is my Twitter being a... What is going on here? What is going on today? God, why is everything difficult? I'm just going to have to continue on with the drawing. I'll share it later. Yeah, all right. Let's get down to this. I invited Rob on, but he said he can't. He said he can't come. He said his wife is doing things. Rob blames all the stupid people in Sydney. Well, I blame the virus. No, I don't want to talk about what's going on. It annoys me. It frustrates me. Color me like one of your French girls. I have a French girl. That's a thing that I have. All right. I'm fiddling around now. I knew this would happen. I get distracted and then I won't get any work done. But I've got to try. I got to try get my way into this business. I guess I'll just keep an eye on the chat as I go, as much as I can. I need two screens. That's the problem. How do I do this without two screens? I'll just have to leave it like that. Yeah, I will, Mo. I have that face. I have a face of you know, you don't need to see my face here. Let's go full screen. Or do you? Do you want to see my face? Probably not. I don't know. Is it more personable? Yeah, Mo wants to see. He says he wants to see me with where I make those crazy faces. I can keep the chat open on my phone. I don't know if I want to read it from there. Phones. I got one of those small phones. I've got it kind of like next to me, so we'll see how we go here. I'll zoom in a bit. How does that look? That's probably better. Almost passion. I got to stop. My instinct is to highlight the chat. That's the instinct that I have to curtail, because that will definitely slow down whatever this is. Yeah, but I'll just try and figure it out, I guess. This is Rob makes fun of me for not having two screens, but I used to do it back in the days when I was playing poker, but it kind of hurts the neck. That's what I found. I didn't want to do that. See, already I'm doing things I don't want to do. This is off to a great start already. La-di-di-la-di-da. So at the moment on this page, there's lots of different whatchamacallits, lots of different kinds of highlights and colors and that sort of junk. These are all technical terms, obviously. And they all come in different layers. So at the moment, this is I call this the yellow highlight layer, and it looks like that. So that's the yellow highlights on the dudes. And I think I'm going to do some blue highlights now, which is coming up from underneath. And I only do that on the characters to make them kind of pop out of the the background. Yes, David, it is going to be, well, I don't know if it's going to be a legit coloring stream, but it's going to be a coloring stream. How legit that ends up being, that's up to me. And, God knows. God only knows what it's going to actually end up like. Because I sure as hell don't. Mo says typical Bancroft should be a focus, focus on the chat when he should be working, and then not when I'm doing my show. That is true. So I have this blue layer is all on separate, so it's pretty easy to, if I go over somewhere where I don't want it to be, it's pretty easy to just, except for here, of course. That might not be too bad. I'll blend that in. Does anyone actually care about coloring? Like what I'm actually doing? And the brushes or anything like that? If you do, ask me a question. I'll answer it. Otherwise, just enjoy yourself. Mel says she'll take a picture of the cottage one day. Yeah, we'll clean it up a bit. We'll make it more presentable. At the moment, it's like a pigsty in here. That's what happens. I do, Bancroft. I like as many coloring tips as you have to give. I don't feel qualified to give tips, Dean. I can tell you what I'm doing, and this is it. Like this is a melding of Corey style and just whatever I'm doing with it. So I don't know if it's like perfected it enough to really, tell anyone about it. But I can tell you that this brush I'm using, it's got hard edges, as you can see when I do that. I hope you can see that. Can you? I can't see the screen, so I don't know what you can see. But it blends off, so I can make it hard or soft, but the edges stay clean. That's what I like. I try to minimize the amount of, what's it called, like a soft brush that looks like an airbrush, because I feel like, I don't know, Carl Ritter can use that soft brush like a master. I'm not Carl Ritter, but I think this hard brush gives a much cleaner edge. Bancroft beat Corey in the coloring competition and then took his job. Well, Corey went on to work on Kozor, so it is what it is. Apparently I say that way too much. It is what it is. Just like phenomenal. If I ever do t-shirts, like Tim Pool makes these t-shirts based on stuff he says all the time. And apparently he makes decent money from them. And so that's what I need to do going forward. I make phenomenal t-shirts, and it is what it is. At least, I mean, Mel might be pulling my chain. So I don't know. When are you going to join me in retirement from coloring? Asked Passion. I mentioned the other day, I just mentioned that if I were to hire out any sort of part of the process of doing, doing the lucent, it would probably be the coloring. And everyone said, no, that's the one thing we want you to do. And I've been thinking about it, and I think, hiring a coloring assistant could actually work quite well. And by that, what I mean by that is it's like a flatter. So you can get someone to do the flats for me first time round, and then I'll take those flats and then I'll do whatever I do to them, and then that will be the template that we work off. So the next page, it'll be probably most likely in the same kind of color palette, and I'll say, hey, can you set up all of these? Because coloring, there is a kind of art to it, but a lot of it is also a science. It's like it's like boring Photoshop stuff, layers and filters and all that sort of junk. And that stuff just takes time to set up. So if I could get a coloring assistant who can do the flats and set up all of my adjustment layers. So like if I turn off the layers here, right? So there's this shadow, there's the flats. They can make a layer for the shadows, and then the gradually different sort of highlights start building up on the flames. That sort of junk. And that's just sort of time I don't have to spend doing all this stuff, essentially. I'm going to bed and you're going live, says Jason. Unfortunately, yes, my friend. Unfortunately. Sorry about that. We got more people here in that. Holy shit, there's 20 people here. Wow. Wowzers. Let me say hello to some people then. Hello, Cinnamon7. I've been talking to Passion. Dean, Mike Rugg, Sam Rogers, Robert Shep. I think, Robert, I said hi to you earlier. We've got Vikiverse in here. I watched that stream. Is it DA's channel? About myself and Liam and all that. It's so, man, it is so weird to, well, I'll just say hello to everyone first. Now, oh, hey, Jason Black. I'm not Tell me about it. Spirits Car, what's going on? I'm coloring, man. I'm gonna dip my toes into the world of doing art on streams, I guess. I mean, I would just be sitting here by myself and doing it and be much quicker, but I was bored. I didn't know how many other streams are on, but I don't think there were many. Hello, Woodrow. Sorry to see you go, Jason. Osgrade Sage, how you going, buddy? Yeah. I'm on Twitter earlier today, starting my work day, and I see someone tweet out a stream, and it's called Bumping Bancroft or something like that. Oh my God. So of course you're like, oh, here we go. What is this going to be? And it's just a weird thing. It's something you don't ever anticipate happening when you start a channel, is that anyone would ever think about being interested in chatting about something that you did or said online. I mean, it's not that the show would not have happened, were it not for Liam's reaction. But still, it's an unusual thing, and I watched it, and it was actually far more tepid than I thought it might be. But that's cool. I mean, those guys think I'm boring, and I understand. They're a lot more focused in on the Vilned. It was you. I saw you there, Vilned. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, a lot more interested in the, what do you call it? I mean, I guess it's just called a drama sort of side of things than I am. And that's fine. I think that's actually a good thing. I think we need places like that. I mean, I don't necessarily want to get involved in any of that because it's really not my thing. But clearly there is a need for that kind of thing. It's like a valve. I mean, if people are interested in it, then the better it happens. And I suppose it, things going unsaid, unspoken, and then bubbling up in bad ways later on down the track. The Doug, man, that Doug video. Oh my God. I wasn't like Cecil. I didn't see Doug straight away for what he is. I just wasn't interested. And I mean, I was a big, Nintendo kind of kid. I was never interested in Earthworm Jim. I didn't even remember it. I didn't even know if that was on Nintendo, so that's probably why. But his art style never really did it for me, so I just kind of skipped that whole thing. But my goodness, what a character that guy's become, huh? With the YouTube stuff, and it was pretty entertaining. I'll give DA that. Is it DA? I don't see. I think it was. He had a really good friggin'. His camera setup made me jealous. He must be using like a DSLR or something. His camera and mic setup made me very jealous. Not jealous enough to change anything, but you know how it is. So yeah, at the moment I am brushing on these kind of blues to sort of give form and depth to these guys, and the whole point being that they're wearing these metallic suits. They're out there in the night, and even though there's all this fire and explosion and everything happening, there's like a whole heap of yellow light. got to have something to contrast it, and just the ambient light. We've gone with this kind of blue, this blue glow that comes up from underneath. So the light is obviously coming from the sides and above, and so the ambient blue from down below. This is so different to how I color the lucent. It's not even. It's not even in the same universe, really. House of R, welcome, says Dirtworm Rog, me the wrong way from the start, totally ignored his shit. Yeah, well, I mean, back in the day, he was just like I remember him just being a weird dude. Gelf's got to go. I'll see if I can, I don't remember. Gelf, why? Do I have Gelf muted or something? Like, where's Gelf? I hope I don't. Why can't I hope I don't have you muted, Gelf. I don't know why I would. It's not coming in. I mean, I mute so few people. I can't imagine why I would have you muted. I apologize if I do. But I'm not seeing your Twitter. So I don't know what other explanation I would have. Thank you, nonetheless. I'll sort this out on Twitter somehow. Hashtag justice for Gelf. I'll sort this out. I'll find you. I'll see what's going on, and I'll retweet and share it around. And thank you for posting that. I can't do it right now. But that's weird. Oh, I'm not on Twitter. Okay, check Rosetta. All right. Okay, sorry. That would explain it. That would explain it, wouldn't it? It says I'm looking for. This is not working. I'm looking for Rosetta Allen's Twitter, and it says it's suspended. So obviously I don't have the right one. Here we go. I do have it. Okay. All right. I'm following her. She's following me. So why can't I see it? Oh God! It's in the freak. That's why. Of course. It's in the freaking message requests. The hidden area of Twitter where I never am able to find anything. All right, here we go. Where is it? Stop sharing that. I was expecting the magnet. I was not expecting this. Talk about taking over your fridge. Put the entire poster on the fridge every time you go get an orange juice or a milk. Thank you so much. That looks awesome. That looks awesome. And look at that energy rating on the fridge. I like it. Just 2 stars. Because why not? Screw it. Australia needs to go nuclear. That's all I'm going to say. This is not working. Is this a de-wrenching incident? No, it isn't. It's I did apologize to Gelf, but it turns out I apologized prematurely. He didn't actually have a Twitter, and for some reason, even though I'm following Rosetta and she's following me, her DM went into my message, like, what is it? Message requests. So I don't know. Might be a dryer. No, it's a freezer, isn't it? You can see, like, that's how you open a freezer or a fridge, a mini fridge. I don't know. I got that freezer from Costco. What do you expect? I expect 1 star. We got a new dishwasher today, and there were 3 stars. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. But thank you for backing, and that is awesome. I'm so happy that I figured out a way to send the posters flat, because yeah, folding it with the manual folder, you can like do a light fold, and it doesn't cut, like you don't get those white lines, but still you get a line, and you know, people aren't going to really want to put them up. I know that I don't put folded posters up, so why would I expect others to? That was really cool that I was able to find that mailer that could get them out flat. You know, it would be called a magnetic puzzle. Oh man, yeah, you do it on your fridge. Rob is getting. There was a little bit of coloring going on. All right, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. Yeah, there we go. That was that. It's so cool to see people, you know, receiving. You know, I'm going to use a soft brush here. It's calls for the soft brush. And you guys, I'm going to move this because I don't know if you guys can see what you can see it. See that? Like, this is how you. This is what I. This is why I'm sticking with Photoshop for coloring. Because I don't know if Clip Studio Paint has this feature. This figuring this out was a lifesaver. You just hold down this special combination of keys on your keyboard, and you can scale your brush up and down. You can even make it hard and soft. Look at this. Hard, soft. I don't say it often, but it was a total game changer when I learned about that. What special combination of keys? See, there you asked me, Dean. I have to look because I do everything. You know, instinctively now. So it's Option or Alt, depending on what keyboard you're using, Control and Shift all together. So it's the bottom left hand three keys in the corner there. You hold them down and look straight, like you don't have to. Used to, you have to, you know, like go up like that, or you know, or go and even type it in somewhere. Now you move your mouse left and right and you scale it. It's, oh my god, it's the best. It's the best. All right, that's enough soft brush. I'm going to get crazy with the soft brush. The thing about doing this live is I second guess myself the whole time. Good, Dean. Yeah, it's going to save you a lot of time. Yeah, it's crazy. Woodrow says, I love this coloring bank. Thank you so much, Woodrow. It is a very different method than what I use for the Lucent. So hopefully by the end of this book, I'll be highly skilled in it. Ray says I can do it on Clip Studio Paint through some customized settings. Ooh, because I would love to swap over to. Well, I'm going to swap over 100% the inking Clip Studio. That's not even a question. Anyone who's tried to, you know, ink and draw in Photoshop knows it is not built for that purpose. So, you know, Clip Studio is just so much better for all of that stuff. But, you know, I don't want to have to be tabbing up and down like this every time I want to change the size of my brush. Who would? Why is it not working here? Is that not selected? That's all ink. Right, okay, that makes sense. And if anyone wonders, is there any method to what I'm doing? No, I'm just eyeballing it, and if it looks good, I go with it. Leave it to banker to take all credit and not mention. What do you talk? I said earlier, this is a marriage, a melding of Corey and my colors. Actually, I can show you. I've still got them here. I've got a little folder in every file, every Photoshop file. It's called Corey. I can turn it on and off, and you can see his rendering. So I start with his rendering, and if the colors are coming from the right direction, because sometimes they change the direction of where they're coming from, and in that case, I guess I'm just stuck. I can't use as much of his rendering as I'd like to. But if they do match up, then yeah, I'll absolutely use Corey's rendering, because he's really good at that stuff. He's really good at the rendering, which we all know. I see Dave Brink is here. He says, Michael, what coloring tutorial lessons did you follow? Mostly coloring with Kurt. He has been the number one guy for me. To anytime I have he's got so many videos. If you just have a concern, you could usually go to his channel and just type it into his thing, and he'll probably have a video on it. It's really helpful. But I still very much consider myself a rank amateur when it comes to cut. You know what we can do actually here? Something really quick and easy is we can turn on the lights. Let's do that. Let's do that. See, these guys have these red glowing thingamajigs on their suits. We can do that. So I just need to find my folder. Okay, so I'm going to pull them over here. So there we go. So that's the cool thing. Like this is what I'm talking about, getting a coloring assistant. I want someone to just make it so I have all of these necessary effects in the file already, because it is just a lot of back and forth and all that sort of junk. All right, what have we got here? Sometimes I don't remember exactly what I've done, and then I've got to go and look and see what the hell I'm looking at and what I'm doing. This is all time. See, this is I could waste 10 minutes doing this. That's 10 minutes I could be wielding that brush, and I'm not. Oh God. Okay, red glow goes there. Yep. I'm swapping back between files here to try and discover where I've put things. Okay, red glow goes underneath the top adjustment layers. All right. You got to put things exactly where they need to be. Otherwise, you get different effects from page to page, and you don't want that. Okay. I should be able to just get rid of these. And what's this? Okay, that's them. All right. Pull that color. I will get rid of that. It should be, let's see what's going on. What is that? Oh, they're the eyes, right? Okay, there's no glowing eyes in this page, I don't think. Nope. All right, I can get rid of them. See, this is like 5 minutes where I'm just faffing about, just trying to set up a folder that I'd already got on another page over onto this page. And that's what I want a coloring assistant to help me with. Get a guest on. You want to come on, Skip? You want to come on? I think you're working. How do you know if you need Weebhab? Mo will tell you. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Mo Big says, if you need to ask, you need it. Sumo says, I'm no artist. I can't tell. There you go. So that's what I'm hoping. There's, no colorists in here to tell me that I'm an idiot for doing it the way I'm doing it. This is going to be a lot better than bang. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't. That gives me heart palpitations thinking about drawing. Go solo, bank, and pull your heart out to us. What do you want to know? You guys can ask me anything. I'll tell you as much as I can within reason. Within reason. I'm not gonna tell you everything. There needs to be some mystery. All right, so what I was going to turn on these lights, huh? I was going to turn on the lights on the suit. And I think I put it on these guns as well. I don't know if Rob wants them on the guns, but I put them on there anyway, because why not? It looks cool. But it doesn't go on, the glow doesn't happen on the masks. So I just got to get rid of those little bits and bobs. So actually, I might actually have that somewhere. Ah, there we go. That was easy. Aren't masks the best? All right, so without further ado, here comes the sun. There we go. And I'm going to get that dreaded soft brush out and just paint in a little bit of highlight in here so it doesn't look so flat. Like such, like so. You can do this automatically, but I like to do it manually just because there's, you don't, some areas you want it less, some areas you want it more, some areas you don't want it at all. You know what I'm talking about. George says I'm doing fine. I like the looks of this page. Thank you, George. Yeah, these pages, there's so much that goes into these pages. Every one of these pages is taking me a lot longer than I'd hoped for, but Rob and I have agreed on a page rate. He's paid me for the first 10 pages. This is page 11. I'm about this far with page 12 and 13, which is a double page spread. And once we get, once we get that, we're nearing in on halfway. Thankfully, a lot of the later pages, there's nowhere near as many effects. So that will speed up the process a fair amount, hopefully. Yeah, so I don't know if these guns do this, but I mean, I'm making them do it. And this vehicle, I don't know if it did this in the last one, but it's kind of weird. I was looking through the last books. But I'm going to say to Rob, I think it's good to visually differentiate the vehicles of your guys here versus the vehicles of, I presume, the British Army in some visual way. I do that a lot with Rob. I say, Rob, we got to think storytelling here. We got to help the reader, because we don't want a situation where they're like, I don't quite understand what's going on here, and we could have fixed that with a little bit of color magic. Sumo says that was like magic. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, Sumo. I get someone to set that up beforehand, and all I need to do is turn it on in the right place. Even if it's $20 to $50 more a page, that's I think all I would really need for me to still do the colors, but do them a lot quicker. I heard Rob pays in posters and fashion. No, he paid in cash. I received it. I forgot to tell you, Rob. I did receive that cash, so thank you. A good stream, but I want to go do something else. How chat. Thank you so much, Jason, for hanging out. I hope you get your book soon. I know it's stuck in Aussie Post limbo, but I hope it arrives soon and all safe and sound. And I hope you enjoy it. Devilfish, Tango and Cash VHS bootlegs. I'm not sure what that. Oh, that's what Rob's paying me in. Here's something. I don't think Tango and Cash holds up. I watched it not that long ago, thinking I was going to have a great time, and I just didn't. So yeah, make of that what you will. Hey Bancroft, have you heard the many people jelly of your success? No. I mean, obviously, I'm aware of the whole kerfuffle surrounding Liam and I, but I don't know if that's what you're referring to, and I don't think that's what happened with Liam and I either. I'm not saying that's what happened. Look. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about that stuff. I said, yeah, ask me anything. I said, and then the first one is, I don't know if I want to talk about that stuff. What I don't want to do is put fuel on a fire. You know, if anyone is jelly, I hope they wouldn't be. It's not. I mean, it's not necessary, and I didn't do all this by myself, so I just followed the path that was laid out before me. The funny thing is, I grew a channel. There's a lot of people helped me out with that. We all know who they are. First of all, everyone in the chat, everyone who came on, the guys on the panel, Blue, Poland, Bandito, Joe, and then later Leroy and the gang, Lord Crackhead, Rob. There's a lot of people that went into it, and what was I even trying to say? House of but yeah, that's a good thing. So I try and avoid drama, but you can only avoid it for so long. Hey Phil, how you going? You can only avoid drama for so long. Eventually, it will catch up with you. That's the thing I was trying to say the other day when I did my stream about the realities of YouTube. It would be great if you could just do these streams where you invite everyone on, everyone's happy all the time. It just eventually you get enough people coming to the show that people are going to clash, and then instead of being the fun party atmosphere that you wanted it to be and like lighthearted and no worries and everyone's just having fun, it becomes a massive source of anxiety, worrying who is not going to get along with whom. Sorry, Blue, if you ever hear that. And yeah, and I mean, everyone knows I've been kind of like tried to, tighten up the ship a little bit on that front. Not only just do I think it's better when people are more in control of the direction of their channels. I think it makes for a better show. I think it actually reduces a lot of that drama and tension that can build up and sometimes explode, as we've seen happen. Listen to all the names he's forgetting. Mo Biggs. There you go. Well, I said the chat. I mean, I thought that was presumed. That I mean, everyone in the chat. Hello, Skip. There's even more than that, Bancroft. You have enemies you aren't even. I would love to play my favorite clip from. Is it Sarah? I mispronounced his name the other day. Serrano, the guy with the big nose. he has what I think is the best Comicsgate speech ever made. And it was made back in the days of black and white film. And he goes on about how, like, even if, I mean, I don't want to, say it and ruin it, but he ends with saying, whenever he sees someone coming to him with a big smile and or whatever, he says, gladly, look, here comes another enemy. I guess if you're putting yourself out there and doing things and you don't rub people the wrong way, you're probably not making any kind of impact. And that's just the nature of human beings, I think. I miss Poland too, Phil. Poland said hello in a DM probably 3 months ago now. We kind of really fell out of touch after January 6th. I don't know how involved he was in any of that stuff, but I think the election hit him pretty hard. He was always a very political guy and very committed and passionate. We joked that he was in Guantanamo Bay, but I think I don't know why he's not hanging out with CG anymore, but I think he just people come and go. But yeah, I miss Poland. He was a good friend and a good guy. We've got DA Talks in the chat. Is that DA Talks? I'm presuming that's the same DA from the video earlier. If so, I'm jealous of your setup. That is very professional. Oi, Bancroft, it's your house, your rules, mate. Yeah, I know. And I naturally don't like confrontation. So if I see something happening that I'm not really cool with, I might let it slide the first couple of times. And then I really hate having to go and say something. And I especially don't like turning down people to come on the show. That's something I don't think I'll ever really get used to. But I think it's the best for all of our shows to be a little bit more discerning with what we're promoting. There's so many books coming out. I think I just think it's important that we really foster a genuine meritocracy. And people, it's going to hurt, and there's going to be disagreements because one man's trash is another man's treasure, and that's cool. But that all that says to me is, that's the importance of building up your own platform, because then no one can say no. And people can say no, but they can't stop you from promoting on your own platform. I think that's the point I was trying to make. Got to jerk that drama out. Yeah, look, for me, YouTube is just fun. I love YouTube. I love having a channel. I love the chat that we've got going on here. I love that people can come on and get backers and the whole Bancroft bump. It doesn't bother me that it's not the most riveting YouTube out there, and I understand that. But I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And yeah, to do that, I feel, at least for me, I need to distance myself from drama and weirdness and anything that might make it less fun, pretty much. Spirit Scar says, you run a show. I don't care what. Oh, thank you, Spirit Scar. That means a lot. What about says EVS has a big nose? I think we're all aware. No, this is Cyrano de Bergerac. Yeah, Ethan does, and I wanted to do something with this Cyrano speech, but I didn't because there's the meme. If Ethan's nose, I didn't want him to think that I was making a dig at with his nose. Cyrano. Yeah, there you go. But man, if anyone, just go watch, not now, obviously. At some point, watch the monologue in that movie. It's Comicsgate. It's all about not selling yourself out and changing what you're doing just to appease the elites. And we've got a guest.
What's
Rob.
going on?
I was coloring your
Batman.
oh my god. I was coloring your page here. But then I got to chatting. George loved the Star Trek top 10 list.
Oh, he did not.
I'm glad.
He did not love it at all,
Okay.
George. They're lies.
He
emailed
hated
me.
your top 10 list. I know that.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's true. Maybe he hated my list.
KSS. If this is indeed, ask me who's the best. To me, it's still Picard. It's still Picard. I can't. Bancroft preaches meritocracy, but credits me with a blank at the show. Mo, I put you at the start of every single show as a way to honor your presence here. So make the nose talk. I would love to do something with that speech. It is so good. Do you know this speech, Rob?
What?
I'm talking about? Do you know Cyrano?
No.
So good.
I don't know something.
You don't really like. You don't. What's that?
I don't know something that sounds unbelievable.
You don't really enjoy
talking,
beautiful writing,
feelings, emotions,
so
all those things.
You like cool looking stuff, and that I do too. But I'm just thinking this might not be your cup of tea. Come to think of it, But I like it. I had to fight for that, but you did. You came out every day, pretty much, and and worked hard in that chat. So you absolutely deserve that spot.
Yeah,
Bancroft just got done saying he loves us, but then lets Robocop try.
He's been on me for a good month, I reckon.
NTM?
Just relentless attacks.
Here you go. 7 agrees. I'm the best theater ever written in any language. Yeah, is it French? I feel like it's French. It sounds French. Everything, a lot of really good things you find out are French. A lot of your favorite movies and stuff, they're French remakes. Did you know that?
You find that out.
Well, Mel tells me, she's like, oh, that movie is French.
And
I wasn't aware.
KSSS says feelings are stupid.
Feelings on the internet, I actually agree. If I had one piece of advice I would give to anyone looking to get involved on YouTube, don't catch feelings. That way lies disaster.
They want you to kick me, Bancroft.
Do they?
They do.
They were liking it without you? Who's saying that? Oh, what NTM is saying that?
NTM, Osgreat Sage. How is it that Rob talks here, but when he has EVS and Malin, he said 3 words in 4 hours? I said plenty of words on that stream. Go back and watch it.
No, I watched it. You were like a mute. I mean, I think Carl Ritter says more on those streams than you did.
You guys, you weren't paying attention. I was trying to say things. I had words. Words were said.
They're very big personalities. And it's very rare that I am just at the right time, not working, to be able to go onto an Ethan stream. So it hasn't even happened. Actually, it happened one time, and like some extenuating circumstance, man, I couldn't pop on. But most of the time, yeah, they're just talking about things that I don't feel like I have any real input, and I basically, yeah, I don't want to Rob Arnold it and just sit there and not have anything to say.
Oof. It also kind of feels like you have to be in the right mood, because you can't go on there if you're not feeling it and
You got to put on a
trying
show.
to fight to get your words in. It's tough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there hasn't been a time yet where I've actually been able to. So I haven't jumped on, but yeah, hopefully soon, because I think as long as it's a topic that I know about. Usually they talk a lot of DC comics, and I would just sit there like, I didn't even know who that is, kind of thing,
Oz says they talk about comics they've read. Bancroft and Rob are out of their element.
Well, yeah, I guess I've only read probably 500 comics. And that might sound like a lot to someone who hasn't read any comics before, but some of these guys, especially guys like Cecil and Ethan and John and Shane, it seems like they have unlimited knowledge of everything, and I just don't feel like I've got anything to add to that conversation.
I've probably read 500 comics, but they're 500 of the Phantom and Judge Dredd, and for some reason that counts as 0.
Yeah, I've read. I know they give us. It's because we haven't read certain comics that we cop it, and that's fair enough. But also remember that my prime comic reading time was like reading Spider-Man in the early to mid 90s. That was pretty much all I was doing. So I didn't read The Dark Knight or anything like that. I didn't read any Batman. I think I got one Batman comic, maybe a couple. I can't remember. So I missed out on a lot. And then when I was an adult, I wasn't really reading comics that much. I was reading novels. So
look at you reading lots of words. Big man on campus.
Yes, we haven't read a lot of the classics. I mean, I have read some. I've read Watchmen. Obviously, I read that a couple of times. I mean, is V for Vendetta a classic? I don't really love it. I love the movie. I don't really love the comic.
I read lots of novels when I was a kid. I think I read Lord of the Rings when I was like 13. I made it halfway through like the third book, and it broke me. And that's what stopped me reading.
George thinks I'm reading. I'm talking down to comic readers. Absolutely not. No, I'm saying I stopped reading comics, but that was mostly Marvel's fault. I feel like they turned me off the medium, and it took me a long time to get back into them. But no, I just wasn't reading comics, so I was reading novels. That's all. It's not a bad or worse thing. I always loved comics. If I saw a good one, I would pick it up and buy it. But I wouldn't call that me reading comics. This looks cool. I could get a cool looking Spawn, or a Star Wars book, or one of the European ones. But I just never really got back into it. I read Sandman. I loved Sandman. I read a bit of Preacher, but yeah, I didn't really get back into it until your boy Zach. I mean, I was making my own comic, but I was reading a lot of digital web comics, and that did not have me excited about the medium of comics. I thought I'm just going to make my own. Bancroft should stop talking and stuff. I can draw and talk, especially now Rob's here.
It's just like, where do you even start, right? Like, they want us to read all the best comics, but what are they?
They've told us.
Yeah, but it's like you have to sort through a needle in a haystack to find all the best ones.
Not really. They just tell us read this, that, and this.
If Bancroft stops talking, Rob will pick up the slack, and none of us want that. Thanks, Mo.
What's it look like on the? I'll zoom in a bit. I'm thinking of the audience here. What do you think of these lights here on this vehicle, Rob?
Yeah, it looks sick.
I thought it wasn't 100% clear because it was a different angle. You know, where they might be on it in the previous book.
Rule of cool. Who cares? It looks wicked.
Yeah, I thought as well. It's a good idea to like differentiate between these guys and their vehicles, and then it's the British Army, is it? I guess.
Mm-hmm. British Armed Forces. Yep.
Yeah.
Sheev McQueen. That's good. I'd love a CG recommended list. All of the lists on the net are, shall we say, compromised.
Oh. Leroy does a lot of shows about, you know, good books, and he doesn't pull the punches. I don't think anyone in the chat does either. I mean, that would just end up being like an opinion thing, because, you know, Leroy didn't really care that much for Monster MD. I think mostly because of the art style. It's not what he's into. But then most other people loved it, and it was one of their favorites. Yeah, I don't think it's any kind of secret that there's a lot of not very good books out there. That's not what anyone's saying.
In CG or in
CG?
General?
No, I mean in comics in general. But yeah, you know, out of the 300 odd books that have been put out, there's some stinkers. So I guess she's just wanting to know which ones to avoid. But on the top end, there's going to be a lot of disagreement, I reckon, as to what's.
Have you missed? Are those flats there out of the line?
Where?
If you zoom in on that back panel on his back, it looks like there's a light grey.
Here?
Yeah.
That's not the flats.
Okay.
That's the hold on a sec. That is the what is this? I guess it's like a shadow layer.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Very nice. So here's a question for you, just in general with the coloring. See how you got like the background silhouette characters in black? Is that what you'd stick with if you're doing silhouette characters in general, or would you change it if it was a different time of day, for example?
No, I'd probably stick with them. I mean, they're supposed to blend into the background.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really supposed to look at this. You know,
just in general, though. Just in general.
In general, I mean, whatever the background color is, you should be able to see them, but your eye should not be drawn to them in any way. Your eye will capture them. It'll, you know, it'll know that they're there, and it'll add to the scene, but you shouldn't, you know, actually look at them. At least in my opinion.
George says, just what every employee wants, the person paying him looking over his shoulder, questioning everything he's doing.
Why isn't the other thing on the shoulder red? That's a good question. That is because it's inked. It's inked in. And this is what I said to Rob. I said, you don't just get a colorist with me, Rob. I'll also fix any potential
You've actually fixed a
issues.
lot of cool stuff. So
Yeah. This guy up here. I haven't worked on this yet, but when the way this was originally drawn, he wasn't holding these, and the arc of these projectiles, he's throwing rebar at them. The arc was just not it didn't line up with what he was doing. And I said to Rob, there's a disconnect going on here. Like from what he's doing here, he's like slamming them into the ground so they're standing up so he can access them easily. And then to what he's doing here, there was just disconnect. And to these, so I said, I reckon he needs to be holding some, or maybe you said, I don't know, someone said it. And he even had his arm in a different way. So we moved his arm up here. And it works a lot better now.
yeah, I mean, Sumo Thori is an absolute legend for catching that light Bancroft, though.
I saw it earlier. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to embarrass you.
Wow.
I
mean, I just set you up.
Embarrassing you.
I just set you up to give him a compliment, and you just
I mean, yeah, I guess
took it all for yourself.
Fine. You got to now. Jeez. You've got to put him in the book as a credit, I suppose. I mean, that's how it works, doesn't it? Pretty sure. There we go. A little bit of that. A little bit of something there. A little bit of something here. And I showed Dean this trick about doing this with the pen, and now he left to go and play with it, I reckon. He's so excited, and I would be too.
Are you saying Dean left to go play with his pen?
With this shortcut that he wasn't aware of.
Mate, I'll set that up for you so well.
I don't need your setups.
I think you do sometimes. Maybe. So
Simon Seven says there's good modern books. You can't start with the pre-2000s. Have enough to. Yeah, I'm not on this train of everything the mainstream is doing is total garbage. I don't believe that. I think some of the best artists in comics are still working for the mainstream, and surely some of the stories are not 100% tainted. I don't know about them because I don't pay attention. And like I said, I fell out of comics when I was a kid.
I wonder if George is upset about it.
Upset about what?
The mainstream and where it's going. And
how could you not be? I'm saying in general, how could you not be? Yeah. I'm just saying not every single.
George is a very positive person, though. He always looks at it and things in a positive way. And I don't know if they've really destroyed any of the characters he loves yet.
I think they've destroyed pretty much everyone. It's like, who was I looking at earlier?
They haven't touched Swamp Thing, have they, or have they?
I don't know, but I mean it's pretty bad. But he says, I don't care what the mainstream does at all. I'm not even in the slightest bit upset. I just don't care. That is the saddest. That is the saddest outcome that the mainstream industry could have possibly achieved.
He says, "Don't jinx it, Rob." About Swamp Thing. Exactly. That's a thing. Yeah, that is sad too because
apathy is way worse than anger.
Oh yeah, because you've given up on it. You don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Anger, there's some caring still there, but. It is sad, man. Mo says George lived through the fall of Rome. What did you decide about the rebar effects coming down?
I haven't gotten to him yet. I still have this, and if no, it's not changing anything. And the other page is pretty. I mean, I can open it so you can all see. It's all very yellow at the moment, so it's still very much a work in progress. But that's the following page, so it's sort of set in a similar I mean, it's the exact next page, so that all needs to
Mhm.
be reined back and separated and all that kind of junk. So I think I'll probably finish that off before I go back and really, hone in on what I'm going to do there.
KSSS says anger is a feeling. It's stupid. George says I'm angry that Replicator 3 is late, so that's good, right? Yes, it is good. Oz says I feel sorry for the comic guys that don't have manga read.
Who haven't read manga, I suppose. That's me. I haven't read manga.
Some amazing stories in manga. Really
I bet there are. I barely have time to read Comicscape books these days.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are watching? 25. Wow. Can't complain about that.
No, it's
Thank you, everybody. A lot of bored people, just like we were.
Mo's been vicious in the chat. He timed
Could
out
you
I was
please
great sage.
de-wrench George for a minute? No, I can't de-wrench George. Oh, George is asking Mo to stop timing people out. And now Mo is like, please de-wrench George. Oh my goodness. It's a wrench off. It's a wrench off. I wish I had some kind of... Yeah, I got this to play.
The 5 Ds of dodgeball.
I'm not going to de-wrench you, George, because Mo will then time you out. And don't think you deserve that indignity. I get that everywhere I go. I take that for the team.
It's not fun getting timed out. I would say.
I don't have. It's not like I have really awesome things to say in the chat. It's not like anyone's really missing out on some great nugget of wisdom.
Shelby said he might color Goliath.
Oh, I thought you're off coloring, Shelby. Oh, Shelby's not here. You're just saying he said that.
Mm-hmm. He said that earlier.
Yeah, that's great. As in the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna, force it upon him. We'll just see what happens. Otherwise, we'll find a sick colorist because you saw the double page. It looks wicked.
It looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you couldn't have found someone better, really, for that kind of story.
George and Leroy were saying I should bump up the page count for that book.
Why? What's it? What is it?
It was like 18 because I was going to do like 3 18-page stories and put them together or something like that, or two and put them together.
Mm-hmm.
But, Shelby's work looks sick, so maybe bump it up. Shelby wants to bump it up anyway because there's lots of action and he reckons it could look a lot better with some, more pages. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. It's like maybe even bump it up even more than that.
Well, I mean, I think it would go amazing. Like, I didn't think it, I know it costs a lot more. With each page you go up, it takes longer to produce, but I don't think you'd have any problem recouping those costs.
Yeah, it's not so much the pain for it. Like, it either sells or it doesn't sell. It's whether people want it though. Like if they want a 32-page book, I think
I think they do. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think they do.
It's a
saying.
side book, you know.
Yeah.
It's a I want to do this stuff as well. God knows when I'll be able to organize it, but you know, you're a lot further along than I am.
Yeah, but I've got a ton invested in books that are in production now. So, I mean, it is fantastic.
Johnny Rando
Concerning.
Yeah, Johnny Rando says, "Golden rule: have fun." Exactly. That's my motto. Sumo Thori says, "You wrenchers lording your power over the unwrenched masses." There was a time, Sumo, where virtually every single person in this chat was blue. Those were the days. They were called the wrenched years. And
then you had the de-wrenching.
And the de-wrenching had to be done. It changed everything. Most of the time I purposely see Osgreat says most of the time I purposely say something weebish from Mo to time me out. The last time I was serious about feeling sorry for a long time, comic readers, it's all fine. There we go.
How's Translucent going?
How, in what way?
I don't know. I just wanted to say translucent. That's all. Don't have a question.
I can check. I can check. I can see the stats. I have access. Let me have a look here. Because Mel is marking off all the ones she's packed in green. It looks like she's packed over 800, possibly 900. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy. I'd say probably 900 packages packed in a week and a half, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a good effort, man. What are your kids doing though? Like, how are you not getting annoyed by your kids while she's trying to do it?
Our kids are good, but they do, yeah, especially now that we're back in lockdown and they need to run around and it's raining outside, so they can't even get out into the backyard. But you know, they're troopers and they know it's only temporary. So there's a little bit of arguing going on, but you know, they can color in things and play games, I suppose, and fight with each other. Fulfilled 519 packages fulfilled, but that does include puzzles. So,
and you're using the pickup service, yeah?
Yeah, like tomorrow for the first time. The guy called me out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I got this phone call and I saw where it was from. I saw it was nearby, so I thought I better answer this. This might be, you know, someone who I need to talk to. And yeah, it was Australia Post, and he was like, just checking up, making sure everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going along smoothly. You know, because I've got a business account now. That's the only way I'll be able to pretty much do what I'm doing. And I said, yeah, I had the guy come over to the house to check out, you know, whether or not I can have a pickup service. That's all organized. And he said, cool, it's $12. I thought it would be more expensive than that. So
what?
I was like, okay.
That's weird. Mine was $1.
Yeah, well,
Still.
I mean, we're talking, it's going to be a couple of hundred packages probably.
Yeah. So, it's totally worth it though to get them to pick it up.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So much time saved.
Our post office hate us now.
Oh yeah, man. It doesn't take much.
They hate us. We took in 100 packages today, and they were like, well, you're doing really well.
The frustrating thing is though, like, that you're so efficient with how those packages go out that your 100 packages probably only works out to be 2 or 3 customers worth. But they see it.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't follow.
100 packages probably works out the same amount of time as 2 to 3 customers in the actual store.
Oh no, they don't do anything.
Hmm.
They don't have to do anything. It's all postage paid. All it does is kind of take up floor space. That's all they're
They got to scan it.
annoyed about.
They got to scan it.
They don't scan it.
They have to scan it.
They don't
That's how-
scan it.
They have to. That's how people get their tracking numbers.
Yeah, they scan it at the sorting center.
Mm,
The post office isn't scanning it. I don't think so.
they
At least
should
we've not
be.
seen them do it. Anyway, well, I don't hang around for them to scan it. So maybe they do scan it, and I just don't know. Maybe I'm giving them
that's more likely, I think.
a raw deal here. We have totally lost the chat, by the way. They're doing their own thing now. They're not, they're just talking about wrenches and.
This conversation is too high energy for me.
I'm one of the rare people who like the streams where Ethan just comes on and he's really quiet because everyone's asleep and he draws, and I actually like that. I might be one of the minority, but yeah. This is I think Michael T was streaming, but yeah, someone was saying that day, it's just some days it's just dead. No one is streaming.
Well,
that's when anyone could kind of.
No one really streams at this time, and no one really streams in our morning, like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It's very rare.
Well, there's clearly people around. There's 27 people tuning in to listen to this inane waffle and watch me put rim lighting on some. What are these? Are these guys have names? What are they called?
The Chosen.
Oh.
But we just call them the Skull Masks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I'm not sure what the reason is for that.
Are they in a cult? Is that why they're called? Well, they're called the Chosen. I mean, that sounds culty to me.
No.
Yeah. If someone called me the Chosen, I might think, all right, I'm getting indoctrinated into a cult here. Not that it might be a good thing. You could use this time to tell people about these characters. People might want to hear that.
They're like a private military company, but they've poured hundreds of millions and billions of dollars into research and development. So they're quite small, but they're very advanced technologically. That's what you see here. They've got like a composite armor. I have to look up what it's made out of again, but it's fairly bullet resistant. No, it's from real stuff. It's like graphene and something else. Yeah, and
I made it shiny. I don't know if I should have, but it's shiny in this book.
But yeah, they essentially are trying to take over the country. They're using the virus that has killed millions of people in England to do that. And the British Armed Forces, one of the obstacles in their way, and they just lit them up. They just destroyed them very, very decisively. But they don't have their own way. There's another faction that also see the benefits of taking over the country, and that's who they're fighting in this sequence.
See, I didn't know where. So obviously I haven't read it. I've seen the art. I'm following along with the story as I go, but I don't know what anyone's saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I had wondered, like, why what is it? Swatch Watch?
Watch.
Swift Shock?
Swift Shock, yeah.
Swift Shock and Pain. Why are they going after these guys? I didn't know,
Adam says that's how you know it's fiction. British armed forces don't get destroyed. Yeah, so I guess like it's set 10 years from now, but you could say it's like an alternate timeline as well, kind of like Metal Gear Solid is. But yeah, advanced tech. They use these things called globes, which are essentially like floating cameras. So like if you see their shoulder pads, the globes on those can come out and float around and help them, see different angles on the battlefield and provide the HQ with more like security footage or camera footage, whatever you want to call it, to give more tactical decisions. And the mechs and the tanks, they're all remote controlled. So the only humans are the ones in the actual suits there. Mo says Rob doesn't know globes are already a thing. Everything's already a thing, Mo.
Marco says they remind him of the dudes from Rifts. Do you know what that is?
No. We're talking about this today with Shelby. It's like you create something and it's not based off anything, but people still draw similarities between this and that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always heard people bring up what's that game where they you go to different times in history?
Yeah, that narrows it down.
Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. I mean, it's not like it's like a story like that. It's just that element reminds them of that part of that game. But people have brought up certain things in the past. I just got no idea what it is. But it sounds cool. I mean, of course, it's going to be cool. It reminds them of the Lucent. Did you hear that? Did you see that hockey voted the Lucent number 2 in his list out of 5?
That's not bad.
He said it might be number 1. He'd only read a third of it. So actually, that's pretty good to be number 2 after having read a third of it. I was pretty happy with it.
Unless the second 2/3. What happens if the second 2/3 suck though? You might go from number 2 to number 5.
Well, there's potential for a bit of confusion. I don't want to use the word confusion, but like how does this fit in? Maybe he won't like that bit. I don't know, but it certainly ends with a bang.
With talking, I'd imagine.
No, it doesn't. Actually, well, the last panel does have someone saying something, but I wouldn't say no. The last 8 or so pages is very minimal on the talkie. You get the talkie stuff at the start. But that was good. And Devilfish said he liked it as well.
Good night, Mo.
See you, Mo. Thank you for being Mo.
What's your favorite movie genre, Bancroft?
Favorite movie genre? I'm trying to think of my favorite movies and what they fit in, but they all in different things.
Yeah.
I like Silence of the Lambs. That's a thriller, almost a horror. I like Gladiator. That's an action adventure kind of thing, I guess, drama-ish. I like The Matrix. That's sci-fi.
Dying days of YouTube.
Devilfish says it was okay. I'll take
You-
that. I will take it was okay, Devilfish.
You get the talky stuff at the start, so like porn.
Kinda.
Mine. Can you guess what my favorite genre is?
Action.
Horror.
Really? No, see, horror is probably
Love it.
my least.
Nah, horror's fantastic. So good.
I mean, I watched horror when I was a kid, but then I realized I'm just doing this to kind of test myself, I think, and I just wasn't really enjoying it. So, yeah.
Rob
Gave it
likes
up.
chick flicks. Oh my gosh. Not true.
I don't mind chick flicks,
No, I won't even watch them.
like romantic comedies.
Nah.
Some of them are good.
They're all the same. They
Yeah,
are
but that's
they are
fine.
all the same.
That's fine.
Person A likes person B. Can't get person B. Person B then likes person A, but person A does something wrong and then spends the movie fixing that one thing just for them to get together at the end.
Not really. No, not at
So
all.
what happens?
No, I don't agree.
Rob watches the Hallmark Channel, hence his emotional thank you stream earlier. I just thought you guys needed to be appreciated.
That was quite possibly the laziest topic. I mean, if I had a topic like that, I just wouldn't do a topic. I just cop the low viewer numbers.
I'm sorry. Is this the same person that did the Golden Rule stream?
I stand by that stream. Johnny Rando said it earlier. Obviously, it made some sort of impact. There, George Travelos. They're all the same. Describes every horror movie you like, Rob.
Yeah, except they're enjoyable. That's the difference.
I mean, romantic comedies can be terrible. I won't say that, but I think any movie can be terrible. Based off the Impossible Movie Trivia, Bankers was a fan of war movies. Yes.
I don't like war movies.
War movies.
It's weird.
Especially historical war movies. Gay themed movies. Not particularly, but there's been some crackers. I like Birdcage. Like Priscilla Queen of the Desert was weird.
Finding Muriel? Is that one?
No, I don't like that movie.
I haven't seen it. Good to see Not That Bad is still popular.
Mm-hmm. Sci-fi fantasy are fantastic genres. I actually like young adult sci-fi stuff. Just always have.
You like Divergent.
It doesn't bother me that it's crap. You know,
Wow.
I just like these. Let's just set up this really weird premise and just chuck a bunch of kids in there and have them fight to the death. You know,
Mel B's taking it full circle. Birdcage is based on a French movie.
There you go. That's what I said. Risey says, got the lotion, looks dope. I'm gonna read it sometime this week. Great. Thank you so much, Risey.
I'd go horror, sci-fi, then fantasy would be my top 3. Horror is relaxing. I like watching horror. It's great. It's good for your soul.
Is Silence of the Lambs horror?
I'd say it's more thriller.
I'd say it's more thriller. There's some horror, there's horrific kind of things in it. There was actually a Hannibal TV series that is, I think, I mean, if it's yes, it's a thriller, obviously, but I mean, it was horrific. It was deranged. But where we loved it.
Some pretty cool kill scenes though. When the horse or a person, they separate into those glass shards, like those glass panels.
Oh, I think that was the horse.
That was pretty mad.
The deer making that sculpture.
God,
And it
Josh.
was hard to watch, but it was. I mean, the acting and the storyline was just so compelling. And Hannibal Lecter might be one of my favorite characters of all time. Ah,
George says, if you want to see a horror production, watch Rob's Thank You fan stream. Damn.
I only get to catch like the first.
Don't watch it, mate. It was a train wreck.
I just lost a bunch. Like Photoshop just quit. Then I just lost like 5 minutes of coloring. Outrageous.
Sounds like a you problem. Micro says suspense horror or slasher horror. I like the supernatural type horror the most, I'd say, but I don't mind slasher horror. Suspense horror is good too, but I like I like the creatures. I like the supernatural stuff most. But then, like, Bone Tomahawk was amazing. That was a great horror. So I could talk about horror for
Do
at
you like
least
Blair Witch?
It was good for its time. It was good because it was something different.
I like Blair Witch, and I like is it Phenomena? What, the one in the house? Is that what that is? You know, where they set up cameras, and because they're haunted, and then
that's like every
they see
movie
ghosts, and they still hang around and just try and film them. Well, I don't catch many. That's what I'm saying. I like comedy. Does no one like comedy anymore?
I like comedy. Like I enjoy it when I watch it, but I never go out of my way to actually find a comedy to watch.
Oh, we do. When there's a good one. Some of my the comedies are my most rewatched movies.
I watched Insidious the other night, actually. Again, it's all right.
What's that?
It's a horror movie.
Rightio. What's the chat doing?
They're talking about movies.
Cloverfield gave me a headache. Hate shaky cam. I don't think Cloverfield would have been anywhere near as popular as it was if they hadn't hired that actress to be in it, because I think she captured a lot of attention.
Oh, I watched the latest Conjuring movie. That was very disappointing.
Who has time to watch movies?
I'm putting them on when I'm working.
But you're a writer.
Yeah.
How can you write and watch a movie at the same time?
I'm younger than you. It's called multitasking.
I can barely draw and watch a movie at the same time. I end up just watching the same movies that I've always watched because I know them, so I don't have to actually look at them. Like Lincoln or Gladiator or stuff like that. Because I can't do that. People talking about The Conjuring. Are you using a tablet for coloring or something more professional? How much was it, if you don't mind me asking? Thank you, Geek Hazu. I'm using a Intuos, just a black tablet. I look at the screen and I can sit back and have good posture and not do this. And it's this isn't my original tablet. The other one, the pen died and I thought the tablet was going funky, but it was actually just a pen. So I switched tablets, then I realized it was the pen. But these, I think these go for like $500 or something, 700. I don't know. It's the Wacom Intuos Large.
Isn't it Wacom?
Wacom Mole? I don't know.
Michael Myers over Jason Voorhees any day of the week.
I don't think I've ever seen a Halloween movie.
Oh my gosh, Minecraft.
The thing about Jason that pisses me off is he doesn't die. Like,
So
it's
you'd love Michael Myers then?
yeah, well, there you go. He doesn't die either. That's what I know of him. Like, they can't kill him. It just annoys me. It gets under my skin. Oz says last Hollywood movie I like was 1917. I loved how it was filmed. I agree, that was a really good one. I love war films.
I don't like them. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't go.
Some of my favorites, like Saving Private Ryan. Band of Brothers is still one of my favorite pieces of media ever.
Have you seen The Thing?
Very emotional. Years ago. Years and years and years ago.
Good horror movie. KSSS in the chat. Agreed. Horror movies have the best soundtracks.
They have good soundtracks. I don't know if I'd say they have the best soundtracks.
Oh my gosh, I hate Das Boot. That is a shocking movie. I hate that.
Back in the day, I was learning German, and there was so few options. And that was one of them. I had the Green Mile. Back in the day, so few DVDs would put German on there as an option. So I could watch the Green Mile or Das Boot, and it was a struggle.
I will not watch a movie on a submarine now because of that movie.
but that means you're missing out on is it Down Periscope? What's the one with Kelsey Grammer?
I don't know. Johnny Rando says, Rob, you're wrong. Das Boot is brilliant.
Well, I guess we just have different. Yeah, I could not get through. I mean, I watched it a bunch of times to kind of help me with the German. But I couldn't. Down Periscope. I love that movie. It's got Rob Schneider. It's got Kelsey Grammer. It's got that chick. I used to have a crush on her. She was on a TV show, White Picket Fences. Yeah, let me show you. She's the only chick in the whole submarine.
Mate, do you really want to bring up a hot chick when Mel's in the chat?
Well, this is way before I met Mel, and I said I had a crush on her. I was
enjoy sleeping in the
20.
shack again, mate.
No, and the crew, because she's the only woman, they put her uniform in the dryer and it shrinks, so it's barely fitting. And
okay, I'm interested.
She's busting out of it. And the only line I remember in the whole film was sailor, you're barely in uniform. And it's a fun movie. I like it. Come on, Johnny Rando. We can at least,
George,
I do like good cinema, but I
Das Boot
I didn't like
a good
that
movie. One. Is Das Boot a good movie, George?
That's her, Lauren Holly. Yeah, the girl from Picket Fences, exactly. And Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
This panel should be called Dumb and Dumber.
No, I talked to freaking, he's a cinephile, freaking Camel Moon. He went to cinema school and he lords it over us all. And he does his stupid Cackler's quiz and barely anyone has seen anything on it.
It's a great movie, Rob. Kick Rob. Oh, mate, it's not a good movie. It's not.
But I don't like the movie, but it's not Rob's movie. It's it's a much more kind of psychological kind of approach to a war movie. It's for a movie set on a submarine, on a U-boat. It's it's not like action packed sort of. It's not, and it's not a thriller or like Hunt for October, which I love as well.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I'll say that.
What is the worst movie you've ever seen?
The worst movie? Cabaret. I hated that movie.
There's a poker movie called All In. And it came out, and I just randomly found it one day on Netflix, and I watched it. And you know how you've got movies that are so bad they're good? This movie takes the so bad they're good in so many circles. It's like that movie The Room, that dude made by himself that became famous for being the worst movie ever, but it was actually made by a proper movie production company, and it ticks all the boxes. It's the worst script, it's the worst filming, it's everything is bad, and the acting is so bad. It's like the director wanted them to act bad, and this was just when Rotten Tomatoes was a thing as well, like becoming a thing. And I told my friends about it, and we looked up on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was the first one that we ever found that had an NA rating. So it had the green splat, but it was NA. It wasn't even a 0. And there was one review, and it just said terrible beyond reason. It was, but there's actually some really classic lines out of it that I still say to this day. It's got the black guy from Iron Skies? You know that fighter pilot movie from the 80s? Anyway, man, All In. What a
you
movie.
obviously haven't seen Lobster Men from Mars, Bancroft.
Obviously not.
No. Do you know what movie was really, really disappointing? Downsizing. Have you seen that? With
The Matt Damon one?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looked like
that
a pretty cool idea until I thought about it a bit more. I was like, that's actually really depressing. It looks like it's kind of like one of those dark comedies that is actually all bright. And yeah. Was it just confused?
No, it's kind of like the movie is whatever, like you go along the journey, but you're kind of expecting it. It's really slow, it's really boring, but you're expecting some kind of payoff at the end, and there's just nothing, and you're just like,
it got panned. Yeah,
you're just like, what did I? Has anyone in chat seen that movie? Because god damn, it was boring.
Molly's Game. John says, "Have you seen Molly's Game?" I love Molly's Game. I know
Good
the
movie.
Molly's Game movie. Yes, it really is.
Me.
I mean, I don't obviously I don't play at those stakes, but it the home game scene, the kind of back room poker scene is very much like that. Obviously, just kind of scaled down with what happened to that guy who got played and ruined, and then that is real. That's totally real. I'm trying to find the All In trailer, but I don't even think. I mean, it's not. They probably didn't even make a trailer. It's so bad.
That's a really good burn, John. I'll give you that.
Who's doing a burn?
John. Yeah, I said you're waiting for a payoff and there's nothing. It's really boring. He's like, oh, it's like Rob then. I'm going to head off, man, because as you can hear, my kid is screaming her book out. So I'm going to say goodbye.
All right.
See you all later.
seers. But I mean, there was one. Oz likes Enemy at the Gates. There's so many good war or just military movies. I don't know what he's talking about. California Split is a fantastic. I've not heard of that. I do love me a good poker movie. Molly's Game is the only poker movie that was realistic about the game. Even though they did hold the audience hand a little bit, the hands I feel like the hands that were shown on the movie were realistic. The way the guy folded a mediocre hand for a big bet because he couldn't imagine the guy would be betting so much with nothing, and it just broke his mind. That has happened to everyone. Lou Gossett Jr., Star Roots, Officer and Gentleman, Eddie Mine. That's what I know him from. That's what I remember him from. Did I call it Iron Sights or something? Side Eagle. Was he in Predator? No. I'm getting him confused. Yeah. All right, now Rob's gone. We can talk about him. How much would we have to pay in super chats for you to put an Easter egg on this page you're coloring? Oh, what kind of Easter egg? Depends. Would it be anything that I'd get in trouble for? Oh, there you go. That's why I like it. Molly's Game was written by the same writer as A Few Good Men. Another military movie, which is, it's kind of like I love law movies too, but that was like a military twist. Actually, one of my favorite movie genres of all is baseball. I love baseball movies. I have not seen The Wrath of Man. I haven't. I'm going to see if I can go back and remember how to do this. I don't know how long I'm going to go on. We got 26 people in here. I'll have to go in and get dinner at some point. Put Esper from Xenotop. Oh, God. Now that would get me fired. I don't think Rob would appreciate that. It's so funny having all this stuff come out in the open. And so far, people have only really heard one side of the story. And I don't think anyone is ever really going to hear the other side because it just feeds into the drama. It's so unnecessary. But yeah, no, I will not be putting a xenotype into Rob's book. That would be cruel and unusual punishment for him, I feel. Ginger root hand somewhere? Yeah, maybe. Hide Skip in tiny letters. What, right dick across that shoulder pan? Yeah, no. Angels in the outfield. I think I've seen that. Yeah, I think my favorite is The Natural. I like, or maybe it's Field of Dreams. But yeah, it's all, man, you just it's crazy sometimes. You just, that's why I was saying the other day, I don't know if everyone should start a channel to promote their book, because it sounds great on paper, but you do just get kind of dragged into stuff that you'd rather not be involved in, and which is fine. It's just part of the landscape. For me, I'm like, all right, that's just the price, But for some people, they it's a lot harder for them to deal with it, and so they're better off teaming up with others. Skip says, on my channel, I do the dragging. Come on, what about Major League? I don't think Major League, I don't know, like, I don't think it's held up. I mean, it's fun, but I don't think it's held up. I used to love it back in the day. It's still good. Oh, A League of Their Own. See, A League of Their Own is way ahead of Major League, in my opinion. Although I do like the characters in Major League. You know, the dude with the shrine, and then the guy with the fast balls. I can't remember their names. The guy can run fast. Kevin Costner has very good baseball movies. He does. Natural is a great movie. 7 and 7. It is indeed. The Rookie, another good one. Moneyball, although that was slightly different. I played the clip from Moneyball earlier. My Comicsgate. Michael says, no, it hasn't. He watched it last week and it was great. Yeah, I knew I'd cop some shit saying that, but that's just my opinion. I said, I still haven't seen The Sandlot. That's the one I have to see that you guys told me about. So I still have to watch that. But like I said, I don't have time for movies. This is my life now. I get up, I color the replicator, I have breakfast, I go to work, I color the replicator. Oh, sorry, I stream on the days that I stream. I go back, I color. I help Mel out with printing some labels. And then I go inside and I do some head sketches. I have dinner, do some head sketches, go to bed, and start it all over again. And then eventually coloring the replicator will turn into working on Lucent 2. So yeah, I didn't have time to like actually watch movies. Don't know anything about the drama. Sorry, this is Dying Days of YouTube, but someone doing positive affirmations on social media all the time sets up red flags for me. Depends on the reasons. Depends on the reasons for it. Sometimes there's things going on that you're not fully aware of. Yeah, Moneyball is so good. Actually one of my favorite movies of all time is The Big Short. The acting, the writing, just the fact that it really happened. It's like a story that you know, it's so crazy you wouldn't believe it's true, but it's true. And yeah, but Moneyball is that's. I would love to see it. I want to know. I want the next kind of, you know, maths and statistics and you know, interesting event movie. I'm waiting for it. Hey, Statistical Zeros in the house. It is evening here, and I'll probably be doing this for another. I'm just doing the rim lighting at the moment, so I'll probably finish that up and finish up the stream. Yeah, Moneyball was really good. I've known people have said that, like I'm really missing out. But it is what it is. One day I'll have time again to do these things. Until then, I'll miss out. I'll continue to miss out. Comic books take time, especially when you're working full time, believe it or not. They do take. I don't know. There's some guys like friggin', what's his name, Tim Lim, who's like pumping out books while he's working full time. I don't get it. I don't know if he has a family though. So, although at the moment, admittedly, I'm not spending huge amounts of time, but you know, we're fulfilling. See you, Oz. Thanks for hanging out. The Sandlot is one I can watch with my kids. All right. The problem is I watch so many baseball movies that now my kids don't want to watch baseball movies. Like, not another baseball movie. So they, even if it's really good, they won't trust me, you know? That's an issue. Dying Days says, good evening, Statistical Zero. You missed Rob. Probably a good thing. Billy Basco warned me that Photoshop doesn't like streaming with, doesn't like going on StreamYards like at the same time. And he said, you'll be going fine for a moment and then it'll just not want to do it anymore. You'll get the wheel thing. Actually, it should be like that, I think. Yes, yeah, it's just a lot of Rob saying a lot of things that probably don't make him very popular. But that's why we love him. Actually, I don't think I finished the rim lighting because I gotta get in on there. You see how it's doing this with the, what is that, like the pizza wheel or whatever, the spinning wheel. It might be the program telling me it's time to end. I'm going to try and get some of these highlights in here. It really makes the gives the impression that it's really metallic. Things are catching light in places. Rob's not that bad. Good, you agree. Ray says, sun's rising, time for bed. See you, Bancroft. How chat. Thank you, Ray. Ray has been, here for a long time, since back when Lucent was on Webtoon. Yeah, it's doing this thing. I might have to end it. It's not cooperating. It just keeps going back to the bloody... Billy warned me this happens. He says, yeah, it's fine for a while, and then it starts, and then it doesn't stop. So I might actually end it there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. This was a weird idea I had to do. I don't know if it was enjoyable, but it gets probably better than me sitting here by myself. So, yeah, the Replicator is still available, obviously. I'm working on it as much as I possibly can, given the time. And it's going to look great. Really, it's when I put all the pages together into the InDesign to see how it all looks together, and yeah, it's really going to come together quite well. So yeah, the link is in the description. Thank you everyone for hanging out, everyone who dropped in and left a comment. Oh, Antoine's here. Thank you, man. And it's good to stream at a different time. I get to see all you guys that you might not be able to pop in at different times when I normally stream. So Late Night with Comicsgate comes back in 2 nights, I think. So I guess I'll see you then. I know I might do more of these in the future if you guys liked it. So yeah. All right. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.